Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm live here on IG as well as YouTube. I am super excited. I'm going to give it a moment for everyone to start joining the live. Whether you are live or you're watching the replay, feel free to say hello. One of the things that I talked about was literally making it our business to be more active in just speaking, just talking to one another, just saying hello, saying hi, walking down the street and making connections. And so I want, if you are live, if you can say hello in the chat, I really, really appreciate it. We're doing our best to be active in saying hello, right? Be active in saying hello. I have something really awesome that I want to share with you guys this afternoon. I know that people may be working. I know that people may, not be able to stay on the whole time, but there is a message that I believe is really going to be helpful. It's really, really going to be helpful to a lot of people, especially as we kickstart this new year. There are some things that I think when we put in perspective and we have that right mindset, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. Say hello in the chat. Say good afternoon. Welcome to everybody. I'm super grateful and excited about how the Lord is speaking. And what's so funny about it is I had one thing I was going to join on to share, and then God always does something different, right? He is one of those people that come in and change our whole plan, right? Thank you to those that have said hello in the chat already. But he comes and shifts the whole plan. And so when I originally was going to get on, I was literally wanting to talk about individual accountability as it relates to, when we start thinking about the prophecies of the word, the prophecies of the Bible, when we start thinking about things that people have prophesied to us. I wanted to talk about the individual accountability, but then something happened, and I'm going to share that with you. It's very personal. What I'm about to share with you guys, I'm literally having a candid conversation with y'all because I really believe that sharing what just happened to me and sharing the message that God gave me in the midst of what just happened to me is going to really help you. It's really going to help you put some things into perspective. Good afternoon to those that are on YouTube. I truly appreciate you for joining as well. And so I'm going to jump right into it. My name is Nicole Walker. For those that may not know me, I have done some great things by the grace of God in business and ministry in the area of health and wellness. The Lord has really, really done some great things and marvelous things in my life. A lot of transformation has happened in the last 5 years of my life. God has opened doors, closed doors, and then I've walked into some great areas and done some great things for Him, right? And He has made me to experience a certain level of success in all of those areas. But this is the thing that I want to talk to you guys about. Um, Obedience is better than sacrifice. I know y'all seen the title, right? And one thing that we want to do in this season is obey God. Obey God. That's the message. That has been my message for years, but it came from me this afternoon. It came from me this afternoon real strong. And I said, hey, you know what, God, I'm going to share what just took place. And maybe it may be a blessing to someone. So I want to share this with you. This afternoon, I was working on my business. I had my whole to-do list. My to-do list was long, right? I look, this is how I work. I'm a I'm a write down on the paper type of person. And I wrote down everything on my to-do list that I needed to do from a business perspective and then like my personal self-care this morning. And when I wrote those things down last night, I was very clear about what I needed to do, who I needed to follow up with, who I needed to contact, and all those things. And in the midst of doing that, I came across a particular person who is in ministry, right? And I wanted to share business with her. And I said, I'm gonna put her on my list and I'm gonna circle back and talk to her. Before I could circle back to her, she had messaged me. Now, mind you, we hadn't talked since like the beginning of December. And so when I was circling back to message her, in that conversation, she said, I have to tell you something. I have to share a dream with you that I had about you. And I said, okay, sure. Let's hop on a call. So when she was sharing her dream concerning me, when she began to share this dream with me, she began to share the thing that I kind of wanted to reach out to her about. And the Lord just came and confirmed his word. I'm trying to see how much of this I'm going to share with y'all. But what ended up happening was I got to this point in the conversation with her where the Lord began to speak and share with me about doing business again, doing health business again, like literally teaching health again. And if you follow me for any number of years or any span of time, you know the significance of this conversation because I've been battling for the last few months. Like the Lord was talking to me so strategically and specifically about building my health business again, even down to the point that I messaged one woman of God that is also a friend of mine. And I told her, what do you think about me when you think about my page? Because I'm literally trying to rebrand and do something different because God, I don't know that I want to teach I don't know that I want to teach health anymore. Like can I be honest? Have you ever done something so well and accomplished things in a certain area and seemingly kind of wanted to do something else, or you know, like you're good at something and you could do it and you've done it for a number of years and you've experienced the success in it, and you just like, I want to do something different. I want to rebrand myself. I want to reposition myself. I want to share something from a different perspective. Is it just me? Okay, Jules said yes, she know what I'm talking about. Exactly. So I was in this space of just saying, like, I want to rebrand myself. I want to do something different. I really don't want to do health. Well, back in September, I kid you not, you guys, as she's talking to me about all of these things, she's literally confirming every single thing that the Lord told me back in September. So back in September, the Lord set me down. I was in my time of prayer because let me tell y'all something. I don't play about God. I sit down and I be praying and I give my attention, my 100% focus and attention to the Lord. And I be like, Lord, speak. I need you to tell me what you want, how you want it, when you want it. I need you to literally lay it out for me. I'm like that with the Lord. He is my CEO. You know, some people be just having little topics and saying little things and they don't mean it. They don't really mean that the Lord is their CEO. The Lord is only their CEO when they trying to get their way, but they don't listen to the Lord in all things, you know, and that's taking me further than I'm ready to go yet. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I literally had a notebook that I touched it last night. I put my hand on this notebook last night. And when I put my hand on this notebook last night, I promise you that I opened it and I said, this is the thing that the Lord told me to do. And I set it back down. I set the notebook back down because I really didn't want to open it. Because if I open it, that means now I'm responsible for it again. So in September, he told me, literally, you're going to help women to heal. He said, listen, I want you to have this about yourself where you go back to that part of you, that desire to see women healed. I want you to go back to that part of you, that desire to see women live in their optimal health, right? And I'm going to tell you 2 reasons why I didn't want to do it. One reason was because, let's be honest, sometimes you do a lot of great things for people and with people, and people don't honor you the way that you feel like you should be honored, right? And that hurts sometimes, right? That hurts sometimes when you are a person that is a giver, that helps people. The thing about having a business that's attached to ministry is that a lot of times you don't get to disconnect your feelings and emotions from people, or you don't get to disconnect your feelings and your emotions from the sale, or from the relationship that's being created. So the thing about having a ministry business is that you can't be cutthroat like the worldly people, right? You are still like in this heart posture for people. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? I don't want to just talk to myself. Y'all know what I'm talking about when you love on people and you give and you just be like, why? Why do people not love me back the way I love them sometimes? Okay. So I say that all to say I just wanted to rebrand, and that was that, right? And I wanted to go into just teaching people business. Well, when I went to that book and she began to share some things with me, I went to that book and it was all confirmed. It was like all right there, clear as day. You are to heal. You are to help women heal. And one of the things that I was praying to the Lord about, and I saw it written there, was literally, I saw it written there. I asked the Lord to give me a voice, even let my voice be healing. Let my voice, even when I'm talking and I'm speaking on healing and I'm giving direction or instruction or clarity or teaching people concerning healing, let it be that even when I speak, that my voice itself, even the authority that I speak in, begins to heal people. That's exactly what I asked the Lord. So as she's talking, I begin to hear all of that. And I said, Lord, I had to repent, right, y'all? I had to repent because I said to myself, Lord, I was fighting these instructions. You gave me the precise thing that you wanted me to do. I'm telling you, I have it written out. Like it's a book, it's a manual. It's a manual on how to heal from a weight loss perspective, from getting your body into optimum health, into cleansing your body. It's a step-by-step literal system that I put together that y'all know I've done it before. I've actually done it. I've taught it, I've trained it, and all of that. But it's more than that, because it's like herbal health, it's eating, it's your mindset, it's all of the things, right? All of the things that we typically struggle with when it comes to healing the body, and it's attached to the traumas that we face that sometimes cause us to eat unhealthy, right? So a lot of times the weight and the unhealthy habits is attached to the trauma and the things that we've gone through. It's not always just, when you think about it, it's not always just, okay, I'm just eating snacks to be eating snacks. A lot of it is attached to the things that we are really going through, and it's just a mask for that, right? So I'm saying this because I didn't want to make the sacrifice that was necessary, that is necessary to build this. To build this, it takes way more effort. There's some of the things that I've been currently doing, right? A lot of the things I've been currently doing is just like, oh, I could just come in passing. I could just, come in, say a word, give an encouragement word. I could just teach on business and all of that. But it takes a lot more out of me because, like I said, my spirit, my soul, my entire body and being is attached to when I teach health. Health is not just a business for me. Is that vegan mom lifestyle was not just a business for me. It was such a ministry. Isn't a lot of people have testimonies of the ministry aspect of vegan mom lifestyle. And so, like I said, it takes more out of me than the natural business. So what I want to share with you all is, what is the Lord saying to you that's going to take a lot more out of you? What is the Lord saying to you that's going to cause you to really push yourself out of your comfort zone? What is the Father already told you is your purpose? Like he told me, this is my purpose. Like health and healing is literally my call. it's a calling. It's not just I didn't just wake up and say, hey, I want to teach people health. Hey, I want to create a vegan business. I didn't wake up and just make that decision. I remember literally sitting on the side of the bed, right? And I was overweight. blood sugar was borderline. I'm borderline high blood pressure. I'm having all these physical, mental, emotional feelings and issues that's attached to this weight and this lack of healthy habits. I was going through all of this in my mind, and I remember sitting on the side of the bed, and I asked the Lord, what is it that I need to do to change this? Because I'm tired. I'm tired of waking up in the morning. I'm so tired and I'm drained even after I ate and slept well, what I call well, but I'm waking up feeling tired and drained. And then when I'm in my sleep, I'm tossing and turning because I started thinking that that was normal. Right. I thought this was normal things. I thought that this was what life is just going to have to look like because you're a mom and you work and because because all these other reasons. But the truth of the matter is, I wasn't taking care of myself, right? Mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I wasn't eating right. And so the Lord told me, this is the practical thing you're going to have to do. You're going to have to take responsibility. So that was one of the notes that I had for us, is that the Lord wants us to take responsibility. There's an individual responsibility to obtain all the things that God has said to us. There is an individual responsibility for us to take good care of our spiritual health, our physical health, our financial health. There's a spiritual responsibility. And we can get excited about a new year. We can get excited about prophecy. We can get excited about scripture and the promises of God and all the things that he said. But we have to take responsibility of the daily action to see those things come to pass, right? You didn't miss much, sis. I thank God for you too. I'm gonna touch on something that she said as well. Um, but it's an individual responsibility that is necessary, that's needed, right? That's needed for us to go into this year and be the best version of ourselves, right? And not because we excited about a new year. This is because we want to see a lifestyle that exemplifies peace and joy and light and love and all of those things. We have to put some individual work in. There's a work ethic that's necessary. There's an individual personal responsibility that's necessary. And so it takes me to obedience is better than sacrifice. So I didn't want to sacrifice getting back into the health arena because I know what it takes. I know that when I'm in health, when I'm teaching, I feel a personal responsibility to help people get it. Right. And so when taking on sometimes people these big platforms, right? But y'all don't understand. It's a lot that comes with these big platforms. It's a lot of responsibility that comes with teaching and serving people. I'm not your average influencer person. Look, and I use that very lightly. I'm not your average influencer person in the sense that I answer my DMs, in the sense that I could get 100 messages today and I feel a personal obligation to go through my messages and try my best to answer thoroughly. I don't just try to come and just be like, oh, hey, I'm not that type of person. If you ask me how to, let's say you say, hey, Nicole, I'm struggling with my weight. Can you tell me what I need to do, what I should be eating? Hey, Nicole, can you tell me, what I can do for my headaches? I feel a personal responsibility to answer. I feel a personal responsibility. So what happened for me was I was saying to the Lord, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go back to teaching health. I don't want to do all of that you just outlined for me. Like, God, that's a lot of work. I got to train people. Like, I'm talking about herbalism. Like, this is a lot. It's down to it's herbalism, it's eating healthy, it's juicing, it's smoothies, it's cooking, it's literally coaching, holding people accountable, is literally helping people to navigate how to cleanse, how to, like, a real cleanse. I ain't talking about just any old thing. I'm talking about like literally teaching you what herbs to go and purchase and put together to create tonics and to create elixirs and all of those things. Like, these are the things that the Lord was outlining to me and telling me to go and teach. And I kept saying to myself, I don't want to do this. But what reminded me what reminded me of the power of doing what the Lord said was I got a message from, and I'm gonna pin her comment. Here she go right here. Her I'm gonna pin her comment real quick. Uh got a message from someone who has been following the page for a while. And when I should have screenshot her message, because I'm telling you, it blessed me so much. And she messaged me right after the person who was telling me that the Lord was saying for me to get back into the health and wellness, to get back into the health and wellness arena and teaching health again. She messaged me right after that, and she had messaged me and she said the other day of how much I have been a blessing to her as it relates to teaching about certain things in health and being authentic and sharing from that place of health and all the things that she had learned from my page over the past few years and all the things she had gotten out of it. And it blessed me so much because I needed to be reminded of the impact and the influence that I really have in this arena. And that brought me to my topic, which is obedience is better than sacrifice. There are so many people who have been blessed over the years, some that I know of, some that I don't know of. Sometimes God doesn't allow people to tell me right away, but then they end up telling me years down the line. A year will go by. People who had been connected to me in 2018, people have been coming back sharing with me what my business, what my page, what my presence meant to them. And I'm just blown away as to the fact that God will say to you, go back and regain and take that territory again, but understand the fact that you're needed. It's not just because I'm telling you to do it, but it's because people need it. You don't understand the value that you bring to the table. And so some of y'all might have given up. I'm telling y'all this, I'm gonna try not to cry because I feel my eyes, I feel this welling up because I probably am feeling y'all emotions, and I'm probably feeling y'all emotions, and I'm probably feeling what y'all are feeling, right? I'm probably feeling all of that, right? Some of y'all have callings and things that the Lord is telling you to do, and you are nervous about putting yourself out there. You're worried about, what people will feel about it. You're worried about people using you or mishandling you, or you're worried about, how you will get it done. Will it be effective? Will people want to buy it? Will people want to come and be a part of what you're doing? You're worried. But the truth of the matter is, while you're sitting here worried about the outcome, there are people that really need your voice, people that really need what God has placed you on the earth to accomplish. And you have to understand that your obedience to go and do what God said is what's going to bring the prophecy to pass. It's what's going to cause the promises that He put on your life to be made manifest. And there are people attached to these gifts and these calls. There are people attached to it. And when you realize just how powerful and how much your voice is needed, when you realize how many people are waiting on you, it's going to make you say, you know what? I'm willing to suffer and I'm willing to sacrifice to obey the thing that God has put in my spirit to do, so that not only do I get it, but other people get it. Other people are going to be changed and transformed. And I'm telling y'all now, I'm obeying God 100%. Tomorrow, when you get back on here, and the next day after that, and the next day after that, all you're going to hear me teaching on is health. Because let me tell you, no matter what I feel about it, I'm going to obey what God said. If God tells me to teach health, if He tells me to teach business, He tells me to spit on my head, I'm going to obey, because it's the obedience is better than the sacrifice. The sacrifice you have to make to get it going, right? Or the thing that you have to do is not greater. The sacrifice is not greater than the reward. The sacrifice is not great. Go ahead and sacrifice, because the reward is so much greater. And in the midst of me making the sacrifices before, the Lord blessed me. That's how I made my first 6 figures. It was my obedience to teach health. It was my obedience to serve others. It was my obedience to put others before myself. It was my obedience to put others before myself and to make sacrifices and to put things out there that made me the income that the Lord had promised me. The Lord promised me the income, but it wasn't until I made the sacrifice in obedience. And so some of y'all have some stuff that, the Lord has told you to do, but you haven't yet done it because you are too overwhelmed by the sacrifice. You're too overwhelmed by the outcome. If you just go and do what God said, you're going to reap a harvest. You're going to be blessed. It's going to prosper, right? God is, he's going to do the work with you. You're not alone in carrying out the will of God. You're not alone. God will do it. And let me see, it says, figure me out. I think that's the page. It says, I need to learn discipline and sacrifice a lot. I felt me losing me, and I'm so happy God is getting a hold of me. Yes, we have to learn discipline. We have to learn to make the sacrifice. And guess what? And guess what? Discipline is nothing but a decision. Discipline is nothing but a decision. Like I said, the sacrifice will keep you from making the decision because you're like, man, if I do that, that means I'm gonna have to give up a little sleep. That means I'm gonna have to go and wake up a little earlier. That means I'm gonna have to cut the TV off. That means, okay, that's what we start doing. We start weighing that thing. We be like, listen, Lord, to be disciplined or not to be disciplined. Because if I get disciplined, then that means I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to do that. That's what we're doing in our head. But let it be non-negotiable. Let us get into this place where discipline is non-negotiable. You know what? 1, 2, 3, go. Right? One of the things that I used to do to make myself more disciplined in getting things done, I started doing this countdown in my head. I'm telling y'all. I would be sitting there and I'd be like, I really don't feel like doing this. I really don't feel like getting up. And I would say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I would make myself I would do a countdown and make myself get up. It's a decision. It is a decision to get up and get going. It's a decision to be disciplined. Being disciplined is not just going to fall on you one day. There's no magic sprinkling that happens. And I think that I used to think that. I used to be waiting for the day that I'm going to be disciplined, right? I used to be thinking that I would be waiting on the day. Anybody else? Or is it just me? Is it just me? Would you just be waiting for the day, the moment, the hour that one day I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be more disciplined? One day I'm going to wake up and I'm going to feel motivated to be disciplined. And discipline doesn't have anything to do with our emotions. Because let me tell you, if you wait to feel something, you are going to be sadly mistaken because you'll be disciplined only on the days where you feel something. And then when you don't feel nothing, you'll go back to bad habits. You have to lock in. You have to lock in on the thing that you want to see, the result you want to see. By this time next year, where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be by this time next year? If you want to be further than you were last year, then you're going to have to get disciplined. You're going to have to make sacrifices. You're going to have to take responsibility. You're going to have to let go of the feelings that get in your way of making daily conscious habits and routines. You got to put yourself in a routine. Let me tell you something. That's a good one right there. Y'all take note of that. Put yourself on a routine. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put yourself on a routine this month. Put yourself in a routine. I'm going to get up. Let me tell y'all, I have a self-care routine in the morning. So that's how I mapped out my discipline for this month. And it's something I've kind of been doing, but I wanted to make it more concrete month and solidify it more this month. To just kind of start the year off strong. I created a discipline based on, or routine based on the different areas that I have to function at a high level in. So to get this discipline, I literally put together like a little plan for myself. So this is the plan. The morning is self-care. It's about me. It's about God. So God first and then me. That's how I'm structuring this month. God first, then me. So God first means I'm getting up and I'm praying, I'm worshiping, I'm reading my word. And then when I feel the release from that, then it's time to care for me. So my self-care is now, my hygiene. It's doing my skincare, is giving myself time to just, take a couple of sips of water. It is taking on eating right, right? Like I'm going to eat some good breakfast. I'm going to take myself on a nice walk. I'm going to do my 30 minutes of exercise. So it's God first and then it's me. That is how my day is going to be structured. And whatever me needs that day is what me is going to get during those hours of me time. So me has to come first, because you will be pouring from an empty cup all day if me don't come before everybody else. So God first, so that God can pour into me, and then me pouring back into myself. Look at this cup. This cup is God pouring into me, and then this cup is me pouring into me. So I'm getting a double dose of pouring into me first before I start doing all the things. Okay. So God first, then me. Then the next part of my routine, after God, me, then here I come, my children, right? My children in my home are hand in hand because I homeschool, right? So I'm a person that has a lot of things going on. So routine and structure is vital for me to maintain discipline, and for me to maintain effectiveness, and for me to have good success in these areas, right? So I homeschool. I have a business. I have a 3-year-old. That's a whole job. My 3-year-old is home with me 24/7. That is a whole job, right? Then I have my husband and my husband is a pastor. So I do a lot with our church, right? And so we have a whole, week pack, action pack with our church. And then, I'm doing business again. So my structure is God first, me, my children in my home. So, and then my husband, he doesn't have to be put in the day just yet until he gets home. But there are some things that I like to do to make sure that when he comes home, there is a certain level of cleanliness, order, clothes laid out, certain things that I like to do personally. I know how people get a little sensitive when you like to serve your husband well. I know people get a little sensitive when you treat your king like a king, right? They get a little sensitive online, and they be like, we can do more than iron clothes and clean up. But I like to serve my husband in keeping things clean, folding clothes, laying out clothes. That's my thing. So it's my family, and then giving a certain portion at a time to my family, and then going into business. Then that's when business comes into play, and then I can give church the evening time, because typically our services and things are in the evening, right, during the week. So I'm saying that because I'm structuring my day in a way that allows me to create certain disciplines. And sometimes we try to think that stuff got to take a long time. Do you know that if you gave 30 minutes to cleaning, I used to do this. I remember I had this little challenge book, and the book challenged me to set a timer for 15 minutes and clean up. I set that timer for 15 minutes of focused cleaning, and I was shocked when I was done of how much I cleaned up in 15 minutes, because a lot of it is a trick of the mind. We are tricked in our mind to think that we have to give hours to things. But a lot of times, a focused 15 minutes can do wonders. A focused 15 minutes can do wonders. And so I don't want you to think that this routine is like I'm taking my entire day. But how many of us, for me, I don't work a traditional job, but you might work a traditional job and you can't give yourself all of this time. But I used to work for them people for 8 hours. So why can't I structure 8 hours of my day, right? To make sure that I'm seeing my life flow in the manner that I want. Why can't I take responsibility to having 3 hours, 4 hours of structured accountability and responsibility where I really work on the things that are important to me? That's where I want us to all get. Your obedience is better than sacrifice. And let me tell you, if you're on here right now, the Lord is speaking to you. If you're on here right now, the Lord is saying, structure your day in a way that puts Him first, that prioritizes yourself next, and then put everything else into a structured routine, whether it is family, business, ministry. Put it in a structured order that works well for you, and give everything a least an hour of your time. Give everything a focused hour of your time. Give everything a focused hour of your time, and watch how that routine begin to make a difference. Watch how your life starts to look totally different, and you start finding more peace, more joy. You start actually enjoying your life. You start looking around and be like, oh, I feel so good because every day I've been cleaning for 15 to 30 minutes and my house is so much more organized so I can think straight. Watch how you begin to tackle things that you were dreading. Let me tell y'all something. I am a very transparent person. I have, so in my bedroom, so it's my bedroom, and then that's like a little office space, a little nook and office space in my room. And it's quite a bit of space over there, right? Like it's almost like you can make a little baby nursery. That's how big it is on that side. I have this chair that I love, just when I'm finished you wearing something, that I like throwing stuff on top of that chair. I throw it on top of the chair, throw it on top of the chair, throw it on top of the chair. So I was getting to this point of feeling, I kept hearing the Lord say, clean that up because it makes you feel a certain way. Put them clothes away because it make you feel a certain way. I keep looking at this corner and watching these clothes pile up, and it's irritating me, but it's not irritating me to the point of action, right? And I was sitting there looking at that, and I was dreading it. How many of y'all can y'all relate to what I'm saying? Of dreading a certain task, like, I do not feel like dealing with them clothes right now. I'm just gonna keep. I got more clothes. I'll just wear the other clothes, and I'm gonna just let them. Those just keep laying there. And even the stuff that was clean, I was like, I don't want. So I was keeping my husband's stuff organized, but not really mine as much, right? And so I was dreading that thought of having to clean up that spot, right? I was dreading it, and it was bothering me so much, but I did not want to do it. I kept looking over there at it. It's right in eye shot of my bed. So I'm sitting on my bed way over yonder, and it's right there. And I'm like, oh my goodness, let me get up and clean this up. So I was dreading it, right? And I got up, I made a decision. I got up and said, you know what? I'm going to give myself 30 minutes. I'm going to get up and I'm going to give this my focus and attention right now. This needs me today. When I finished getting that organized, I felt so accomplished. It made me feel so good to just get that done. I didn't do a whole lot that day. I wouldn't say that I had so much success in all the other things that day, but that was a success for me that made me feel good and made me look over there in that corner and say, I not only did I accomplish something today, I don't have to look at this anymore. And I can do the work to every day, 10 minutes now. I don't have to spend an hour trying to clean up that area. I can now just take 15 minutes out of my daily routine, 10 to 15 minutes, and straighten that up. And now, as I'm doing that, I won't have to be dreading that corner anymore. I won't have to be looking over there getting upset about the mess that I allowed to build up, and then dreading having to do the work to fix it up and clean it up and straighten it up. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? It's a routine that is necessary. It's a responsibility. It's a discipline that is necessary in this season to reap the rewards of the Lord. In order to experience the greatest joy you ever experienced, the greatest peace you ever experienced, in order for you to prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers in this season, you're going to have to take personal responsibility to create the routine that will, and the discipline that will promote the lifestyle you want to see, the life you want to live, right? And if you are, like I said, on this live, I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to sit down and say, I'm gonna give God 30 minutes at 7 o'clock to 7:30. I'm gonna give God 30 minutes. And you can structure this how you want to structure. I just want to give you an example. I'm gonna give God 30 minutes in the morning from 7 to 7:30. From 7:30 to 8:30, I'm going to pour into myself. Before I begin to pour into anybody else, I'm going to pour into myself. I'm going to spend that 1 hour in the morning doing my skincare, taking my shower, taking a long time with oiling myself up with my favorite oils and putting on my smell goods. I'm gonna choose an outfit that makes me feel good, makes me feel comfortable, but also makes me feel confident. I'm going to sip on my tea. I'm gonna take me a 30-minute walk. I'm gonna do all the things that make me feel good. And like I said, don't tailor this to what somebody else is doing. Okay, don't make this about somebody else is doing makeup and somebody else, and I gotta do the things during that hour pouring into yourself that make you feel good. Don't do it because it's someone else's routine. Do the things that make you feel good. Because you ever did self-care and you didn't feel good about it? You ever create a routine and you didn't feel good about it? It felt more like pressure than it felt like, something that would be of help. You ever do that? You ever create a routine or try to put a schedule together for yourself and it feels like it is draining? Because it's like, I don't feel like I can keep up with it. I don't feel like this is going to work for me. I feel overwhelmed by the schedule I created because you're trying to create it around what somebody else said is the norm or whatever. Instead, make sure that time of self-care is things that make you feel good. Somebody may say, "Oh, luxury girl. I'm going to go get on my hair and I got nails and I'm going to get my feet." Well, guess what? You may not be, and that may not be your season of luxury. It may not be your season of luxury. So now you so overwhelmed by having to try to make a hair appointment, get the money together, get your nails done, get your feet done. And that's not, and that becomes like a burden as opposed to something that's actually caring for yourself. So do some things that is actually caring for yourself, and then begin to structure all the other things that you do, whether it's your job, whether it's your business, whether it's your ministry. Structure a short routine that helps you to really look at those areas and give a focus, a minimum of 1 hour focus to really putting the effort, taking the responsibility, creating and building effectively, right? So I hope that helps you. Let me see. I'm looking at some comments. I'm trying. I'm going to try setting a time limit with my daughter also because she gets up. Get so overwhelmed when cleaning. Yes, sometimes when we're trying to train our children, that's a good point. I'm happy you brought that up because even in training our children to have obedience, to have discipline, a lot of times we try to put that weight that we have on them as well. And instead of just saying, like, just like you said, I'm gonna give you 15 minutes. Let's do this. Let's do this together. I'm gonna give you 15. I'm gonna set the alarm for 15 minutes. That takes a lot of pressure. And it takes a lot of pressure off the cleaning. That takes a lot of pressure off of getting those things accomplished. And so I really want you to take some time today and figure out what is the routine that will change your life. What is the routine that will make you feel good about your days? What is the routine that will make you feel like, thank you, Lord, I finally had an accomplished, successful day? What is it that will make you feel good about your daily action? Because a lot of us, we don't feel good. We do not feel good about our daily action, our daily routine. We at the end of the day, we should be able to say, whew, today was a good day. I got the things done that were important to me, that meant a lot to me. What meant a lot to me was I know I gave God his time. I know I poured into myself well. I know I took care of my family, my household. I know I put, a good effective 1 hour into my business or to creating or doing a hobby that I love. And now at the end of the day, I feel accomplished. And I know if I do these things every single day, that it's going to produce a result that I want to see in a year from now, in 2 years from now. That if I put these things into practice, it will become who I am. The ultimate goal of creating a routine is for it to become who you are. The ultimate goal of creating this routine is for it to become who you are, for it to become second nature. Like when I created the routine of getting up immediately and making my bed, it became a thought of mine that was like, I have to make my bed, right? I have to make my bed, right? I have to make my bed. That became something I just did every day out of just habit. And so when we're creating these routines, we want to create something we can keep up to. So don't go making something that you know you're not going to keep up. You know you're not going to make a routine or a habit out of. Make it so that it's something that will flow, where it becomes who you are. It becomes second nature. It becomes, part of you, so to the point that even it pours into your family, it pours into your children. So I'm excited about this. I really am. I'm excited. I'm starting tomorrow. I'm starting tomorrow. If you weren't on live when I first started, I said that the Lord has commissioned me to get back to teaching health. Has talked to me about it and showed me even deeper the necessity and the need for it. And in my obedience, I'm willing to make the sacrifices that are necessary. Um, I'm literally willing to make the sacrifices that are necessary. And so what I'm going to do this entire rest of this month of this teaching, when I get on at 1:30, I'm going to be teaching on health. I'm going to be teaching on healing your mind, healing your body, and tying that all into the word of God as much as I can, because I know that a lot of it goes hand in hand. Who you are spiritually shows up in your physical body, whether it shows up in good health or it shows up in sickness and disease. It shows up. Who we are spiritually, it shows up whether good or bad or indifferent. So I really want to spend the rest of this month just pouring out at 1:30. Whether you are someone who wants to cleanse, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna tell you all the things that the Lord is commissioning me to teach. I'm going to be teaching on herbal health, on cleansing, different herbs that you can add to your daily routine that would optimize your health. I'm going to be sharing what you can do for juicing and smoothies and breakfast and lunch, how you can take little steps. I remember my husband and I were at a service, and the person who was speaking to us said small acts of obedience. I'm going to show you small acts of obedience, small little things you can do every single day that will make you more healthy than you've ever been. That will help you to create habits in your daily routine that will cause you to just be like, wow, I didn't know these little things. These little things can make such a big difference, right? I am going to be talking to you about creating a daily routine of exercise. And these are things I'm going to be doing at the same time with you. So it's not like I'm just going to teach you and then I'm over here doing something different. No, I'm going to be doing it with you. My goal is to really help people even the more this year, especially women. We are those that love to pour, but we do not get poured into. So my goal is to really teach you and train you so that you can be effective in being your best self from a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual perspective and aspect. And then let me tell you what's also in my heart, because I'm a visionary type person. I'm the type of person that likes to put things out there ahead of time. Because why? Because it holds me accountable to doing it, but then it also is something that I would love for you all to participate in. I want to put together a conference, a retreat of some sort, event of some sort. I'm just putting words out there, but an event, ultimately an event. Um, Towards the end of the year, putting together an event where we come together after all this teaching, after all this training, after all this workout, after all these herbal health and all the things I'm going to teach from cleansing and all of that. I want to put together something where we can come together and we can really, really um, create relationships as it relates to health. Something where we can really develop a community, like over the next couple of months, developing a community, and we coming together from all over the country, all over the world. Because I've literally had people that I've worked with all over the world. I remember the first time I saw I saw an order from the Netherlands, and I was like, God, I'm officially international. That's what made me realize I was international. I had seen people from the Bahamas and stuff like that, and that's international because I live in America. But when I saw the Netherlands, it threw me because I was just like, the Netherlands, like who, what? Who knows me from the Netherlands and is buying my meal plans. So that's my goal. My goal is to teach you, train you, develop you into being the healthiest you this year. And it's going to take a lot of sacrifice on my part, but I'm willing to obey God because I know that there are many people who are going to need this, who are going to be blessed by it once again. I know there's more testimonies. I know that the people of God have not been living their most healthy self, right? And a lot of us are we like eating all our junk food and enjoying all the things. I do. Let me tell you something. I love all types of sugary snacks. I just do. It's just who I am. I love it. I love it. I love me some cookies. I love baking, but I have to do some things and make some adjustments, and I'm willing to teach it, train it, and actually do it. And this is going to be amazing. I know that we are about to do some things that we never done before to get the results that we never had before. And let me ask you all, do you have any questions? What y'all think about that? She said she's back and we're grateful, soaking it all up like a biscuit and gravy. You are so funny. I am so grateful and thankful. Every time the Lord asks me to do something like this, I'm grateful and I'm thankful because He trusts me with y'all. Y'all don't realize how much of a big deal y'all really are. Y'all are God's children. Y'all are powerful and y'all are amazing and y'all are, the apple of God's eye. And how I treat the apple of His eye, how I treat people, and just having that responsibility of caring for people and teaching people and loving on people, it's a responsibility that I don't look at as being, that I don't take it lightly. I don't take it lightly. I'm very aware of how I deal with and handle people. I'm very aware of that. I try to deal with people and handle people a certain way because listen, God is not listen, God is not going to get me for mishandling people, for treating people crazy or operating with people crazy. I try to, even when I do have displeasures or things with people, I still try to make sure that I just share that displeasure and talk about that displeasure and handle it from that perspective, as opposed to just, I try not to be the person that lash out and act out. I got delivered from that. Look, I got delivered from that. So I don't take it lightly, the responsibility, right? I don't take it lightly, the responsibility of caring for people and teaching people and training people, and being responsible for people's life. I take it very seriously and I'm looking forward to it. It's about to be amazing. It's about to be amazing. And I'm a giver. I'm a giver. I'm a giver. I'm a giver. I like being able to serve in all types of facets. Um, I like giving what I know. I don't mind giving what I know. I'm not the type of person either that likes to hold back information. Whatever the information that I could give, I try to give that information freely as possible. So what I want y'all to do is do me a favor. This is what the favor I want. I want y'all to join me back here at 1:30 every day, Monday through Friday. I will be popping in on some Saturdays, but I don't want to fully commit to Saturday because Saturday I'm running business. That's my day when I kind of where everybody else is off work and I may have to go meet people and things like that. So I don't want to give Saturday 1:30 and not be able to keep my commitment. So my commitment is to go live on Instagram as well as on YouTube every single day, Monday through Friday at 1:30. But I would like you all to do to just help me, because let me tell you, Instagram, a lot of these platforms, the algorithms and all the weird stuff, that they like to do, even when your page is big, especially if you get off, they get upset with you, right? The algorithm get upset with you when you take breaks from social media. But I would like you to do that, help to just push this content out, like, share, comment. Those things are needed. Come on the live. Invite other people to the live. You know someone struggling with high blood pressure. You know someone struggling with their A1C. You know someone struggling with their blood sugar. You know someone that has arthritis. You know someone who's battling all types of sickness and disease. You know somebody that is overweight and they've been struggling. They've been talking to you about their weight. They've been trying to get it together. What I want you to do is I want you to share my page with them. I want you to say, hey, listen, this lady is going to be going live at 1:30 every day. She's going to be sharing things. Can you get on at least once or twice a week and just listen to what she has to say? This can be something that really changes your life and helps you to heal and get free finally from these sicknesses. All you got to do is tune in. I would appreciate that. I would appreciate that. And those that want to stick to me a little closer, far as being on my mailing list so that you know things outside of just my lives, you can click the link in my bio on Instagram. If you're on YouTube, I'm going to have to post the link in the description box. But if you're on Instagram, you can click the link in my bio and sign up for my mailing list. When you sign up for that mailing list, it'll be that I will be emailing things out like recipes, emailing things out if I'm doing any special lives, if I'm cooking, if I'm doing any live trainings, just things that I'm going to be doing, whether it's going to be locally. I'm traveling a lot this year as well. My husband and I are traveling a lot this year. I'll be in Atlanta. I'll be in California. I'll be in South Carolina. I'm trying to think. I feel like I got some other places. I gotta go. I gotta go look. I got some other places that I will be in this year. We'll be in New York. I have a lot of places I will be this year as well. And so there are things that I want to be able to share out as far as that as well. And so if you're someone who wants to keep track of those areas as well, click the link in my bio and sign up for the email list. And I thank you guys for joining. I will be back on tomorrow. I'll try to keep it at 1 hour, but y'all know how I can get sometimes. I'm a little talky. I'm a little chatty. I'm a little chatty. I'm like the type of person that when I'm talking about something I really want to talk about, there's something that really excites me. When it's something that is in my DNA to share, I'm going to be a little chatty and I'm a little long-winded. But I thank you. I don't take your time for granted. I appreciate you liking, sharing, commenting. I appreciate every kind comment. I appreciate it all. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 1:30. If you have any questions, that's a good one too. If you have any questions, concerns about your health, your mental health, your emotions, your any of those things that you would like me to touch on, you can also comment under my post or send me a DM with areas that you would like me to touch on, and I will take the time to answer your question in detail while we're on live. As well, I'll take the time to help you and serve you in that area. You are very welcome. I thank you all, and I pray that everybody has a blessed day. Love you all, and I will see you tomorrow at 1:30. Have a blessed rest of your afternoon, you all.